Okay, just the key. Okay, sure. Yeah, let's start. Let's whack it up. Need to Okay, Keaton, you know how to download mySQL, right? Have you downloaded before?
I have it in my phone.
Okay, then I'm not gonna walk through that. Okay, so hi everyone. So this course is just about SQL up to joins, subqueries, data normalization. You want to learn whatever's beyond, right? Next time I can cover that. But for now, right, that's all. So just to recap some of the basic jargon stuff. The whole thing, right, is all the data is stored in this thing called database. So this database, right, can be anything. Database can be cloud. For the programmers, right, you will know like MongoDB, Supabase, PostgreSQL. Yeah, there's a lot of database out there, but even if those that don't live in the cloud, so databases that don't live in the cloud will be perhaps like even just a notebook, whatever is used to store data, that's called a database. Then within the database, right, there's this thing called a table. Then for the purposes of not table, TABL. Okay. Table, right, has other types of names also. Table can also be called an entity. So within the database, there can be multiple tables. Then within the table, yeah, if you all use Excel before, right, you all will know there's multiple rows. So there's a row. This row is called a row or instance. Instance means one. So one row. Then within the instance, right, there's multiple columns. Each one is called a column. Column, right, got another jargon also. It's called attribute. So just to recap, this whole thing is a database. This whole thing is a table. This whole thing is a row. This is a column. Okay, many tables. This table, multiple row, multiple column, or multiple attribute. Then this is a quick recap of what is a database, what is a column, what is a row, what is all the small stuff. All the jargon, right? It's just English lah, it's just language. This kind of thing, right? You don't know, just Google lah. If like the exam fail, then fail lah. But you just need to know what all these things mean. Then after that, maybe a quick recap of what's the primary and foreign key lah. So within a table, and the table, right, like I said, has multiple columns. So a table, right, can be connected to another table. So table 1, table 2, column. So in order to combine the data, which is combine the rows of data between table 1 and table 2 together, you will need something called a primary key and a foreign key. So foreign key means Japanese, right? Gaijin. So foreign key, foreign with respect to the table that you are currently looking at. So for example, table 2, they got this, maybe table 2 is table 2 is I don't know, SMU data, SMU things. Then table 1 is students. So here, right, maybe this column is called student ID. So student ID with respect to table 2. Table 2 is SMU things. It's not just SMU students. There's a lot of things. So this is what we call a foreign key. But within each table, right, they also need a primary key. So just a bit of context. Primary key is the unique identifier. It is what identifies each row or each instance uniquely. So here, right, SMU things, I don't know, maybe they have just they just call it SMU ID. But this is the primary key because this is what uniquely identifies every single row or every single instance within table 2. So with the context of table 2, student ID is the foreign key. Here, right? Here, there's also a column called student ID. Here is the primary key. It's a primary key with respect to table 1. So to join these two tables, okay, not join, to combine here so that you can pull the whole thing at once. You need the same thing, primary key, foreign key, so you can join. Then this thing combine, right? And this thing becomes one attribute. So here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 columns or 10 attributes, right? Within one row, one instance. In the end, you get 9 attributes slash 9 columns per instance or per row. This is a quick recap lah. What's a primary key, what's a foreign key, all the basic stuff first lah. Can right, Peter? Okay.
Again, understandable.
Yeah. What's next? Okay, so then I thought about how to combine the data, the rows or the instances of the data together. So there's an English word for this lah, to get all the data. There's this word called query. So to query properly, you need something called SQL, structured query language. So this is basically, you can call it a bit of programming stuff lah, but basically structured query language is how you talk to the database lah. For example, Excel got the I don't know, if statement, or you select the thing, the equal, you can select the range of the table, that kind of stuff. Excel, you can call that the structured Excel language lah. But for database, right, which refers to the cloud databases such as MongoDB, Supabase, and PostgreSQL, all those things. You need the structured query language. So it's just a different kind of language lah. But the good thing is, for SQL, it's very basic lah. It's just English lah. Okay. So there's this thing called SQL, structured query. Okay, a bit too high. Yeah. SQL, structured query language. Okay, so this is basically just English. So there's, for structured query language, right? Because it's a language, right? Like English, they have grammar, they have all those things, right? Like these things are necessary, it's compulsory. So for the context of structured query language, right? Instead of ending with a full stop for every single query, so query is just a question, like it's a question for you to, it's a question that you pose to the database so that the database can return you the data. So instead of a full stop when you end a sentence for every English, you use something called a semicolon. That's the first thing. Then, like I said, there's keywords which I will elaborate later. Select, curate, delete, alter, whatever it's just English. But so for programming, right? Programming, we are very pedantic or very detail oriented. We are detail oriented because if you look at a very complex structured query language, right, it can get very confusing and very long. So for the keywords, right, what we want to do, right, is normally we try to standardize. So for example, this keyword called curate is uppercase lah. But right, I just want to say, right, the casing, right, actually doesn't matter. You can try it's in the notes. If you put curate, it still runs because ultimately you're talking to the machine, the machine don't care uppercase, lowercase. It's just for the human who is reading the structured query language to think about how to do it. Right, Peter?
Yep, can.
Okay. What's the first one? Okay, first one, create. So that's how I say, the first thing you need to do is create a database. So mySQL, right? If you go into mySQL, the first thing you do is you need to create a host or a connection. So a connection, right? Basically the cloud, you can think of the cloud or the internet, right, as many different small isolated sections of the internet. So every time you create a new connection, because the internet is so big, you can imagine, right? Basically, it creates a new, like, it allocates a bit of memory in your computer because it's local lah. That's why you download MySQL. There's also the cloud lah, but basically, since you downloaded the MySQL, it lives in your computer. The computer, every time you create a new connection, the first thing you do, it allocates the memory. But every time you create a new connection, right, there's no database yet lah. So the first thing you have to do is create a database lah. So that's how we create. Create database very easy lah. It's just create database. That's it lah. Create database is the keyword, and here, right, is semicolon. Whatever database name you put here. Yeah, it doesn't really matter what name you put lah. You want to put test DB, you want to put I want sleep, whatever lah. The thing will show lah. That's the first thing lah. You have to create a database. Then you create the database, right? If you go into MySQL, the first thing you have to do is you need to refresh the schema at the left side of MySQL so that the database you can ensure is created already lah. Then when you create the database, you need to select the database lah, because like I said, all these tables, right, they must live inside the database. You don't select the database, right, the machine don't know where you're going to create the tables lah. That's why MySQL, right, if you all play around with it in the future, is you more than likely, right, you will keep running into this thing called ambiguity error code lah. Ambiguity just means ambiguous, just means the computer doesn't know like where you want to create the table, where you want to create the attribute, where you want to create whatever you want to do lah. Okay, my phone lagging a bit. Okay, yeah. After you create the database lah, like I said, the next one is create table lah. Create table a bit complicated lah, but this kind of thing you don't need to memorize lah, just understand the thing lah. Okay, the first one then easier lah. Create table. This thing is the keyword. This one die also. So you follow just now create database. After create database is the name of the table lah. You put create table student. Your lowercase, uppercase, they are your problem. This why if you're a programmer next time you follow your team like your team, they got a preference for your uppercase, your snake case, your lowercase, they are their problem. So after you create the table, right, the next thing you need to do, you need to create the columns, attributes. So first things first, when you create a column, so here, right, is attribute 1. Attribute 1, you write the name of the attribute you want to put first. Student ID, SID for short. Then the name of the attribute, right? The data type. What's the data type? Data type can be a lot of things. It can be int, can be char, can be varchar, can be date, can be text. For the purpose of MySQL, I think that's about it. But if you go into a Supabase, MongoDB, all those cloud database, right? They got JSON, they got a lot of this kind of thing you need that you just going to find out. This one, I don't really care. After this, right? Name. Then after that, data type. For example, here put in because student ID. Student ID. Yeah.
Is there a comma between them?
No, there's no comma.
Oh,
No, yeah. That's why there's a bracket. The bracket for each attribute. So student ID. Then this data type. After that, is the constraints. You got a data type, you want to define what exactly you want. So for example here, right, you can put not now. Not now means, right, every time you create, you insert a new row, which is a new instance of data. Data also must have student ID lah. Not now. Usually when you put not now, it follows with primary key lah, because primary key is the unique identifier. So not now primary key. And after this, right, when you kind of feel like you've done, right, then you want to put a bracket, I think also can lah. Yeah, can just put a bracket, or if not, you can continue lah. For example here, right, it doesn't make sense to have the student name lah. You got to have the student ID and the student name also. So S name is just a for short student name. So here, right, this time I put varchar 15. Varchar just means variable length of characters. Like varchar 15 just means, right, maximum of 15 characters, can be between 0 to 15 characters lah. then again now, it doesn't make sense for you to have the student ID that you the student name somehow when you insert you don't put the student name so you also put not now. And that's about it it's the most basic paper you end with a semicolon also because it's a full stop. It's the one table you create already, then you just okay. Then this one varchar just means right varchar means you can store a variable length of up to 15 characters but there's also this thing called a char 5. So what's the difference? Char 5 means every instance or every row of the data you insert, die also must have 5 characters. Like for example, if you somehow the student name you put A, B, right, which is 2 characters, right? They will force it to 3 characters Space 1, space 2, space 3, A, B. Is what will happen if you try to insert this. So the difference between this and why you want to use char versus varchar, right? It's a bit out of scope for ETM, but basically it's for performance optimization. If you define char 5, right, then the computer knows every single instance, I will allocate this much memory. Instead of varchar, it's a bit out of scope, but how the computer allocates memory has something to do with bytes and bits. If you want to learn more, can learn about it. I'm not going to cover it, but basically, you just need to know, right? If you use char, there's a slight increase in performance when you query the data, especially when the data the amount of rows gets very huge. Yeah, that's the difference. So far, okay, right? Okay. Here.
Yeah, can.
Yeah, I is here. Then the next thing I want to cover is how you all want to create a foreign key and a primary key. So primary key, a bit out of scope for this lecture but primary key can be different types of primary key. Primary key can be a composite primary key. So composite primary key just means the primary key has multiple attributes together to form a primary key okay. Okay, but before you create table with the foreign keys, right? Because it's foreigner, right? You have to create the locals first. That's the first thing. I don't write everything, but basically I just write one first. Create table registration. So this is the name of the table. The first one, student ID in now CID, I think it's course ID, char 8. So char 8 means every course ID die also must have 8 characters. And again, it's not now. Okay, this one I take out. This one I take out because I'm continuing. Then last one is semester. Okay, char 6, I don't know what, AY2022 or something, I don't know. I did whatever the lecture notes there. So this, you create the columns first Create a column already, then you define the constraint. So you put differently I think you can put in the same line, but it's for readability You are writing to a human The machine probably can figure out how to read it but you don't want to shove it all in one line So after this, right, for the purposes of this, right, you will define the primary key. The primary key for registration will probably be a composite primary key, student ID and CID. So how you want to do it? You start with the word constraint. After every time you define something, right, you start with a keyword, then is the name you want for the purposes of the insert. Registration key. So registration primary key. Normally when you name the constraint of the primary key, right? You follow this underline underscore table name PK. PK stands for primary key. And then one more keyword, primary key. So what are the attributes or the columns that are part of this composite primary key? It will be student ID, course ID. So again, I just want to say before you create this, right, you have to have the student table and the course table first lah. I'm not gonna write the course table because damn lazy lah. But this is the primary key for the table registration. After that, right, you need to define the foreign keys also lah. So next one is another constraint. Constraint. Then what's the name of the foreign key you want? Constraint registration. FK. FK does mean foreign key. Foreign key 1. So registration table foreign key 1. Then now it's foreign key, right? So you put foreign key. Foreign key. Foreign key referencing who? Referencing student ID. So this student ID is the foreign key in the registration table. So this one, where does it reference? It references student table. Yes, student. Then which attribute? Student ID. Then last one. Because your registration primary key is composite primary key, so got 2 foreign key. So one more. Constraint registration foreign key 2, foreign key CID, which is course ID. Course ID, this foreign key CID is this one here in registration paper. References the course table, course ID. Then after that, right, all this done already, right? Then semicolon. Yep.
Can you still close bracket again?
I close the
Oh,
bracket.
you close
Again, yeah. Okay, this kind of thing, basic stuff like you don't close properly, you type into the MySQL, the thing will highlight, they will give you a cross error, then yeah, all these things is small stuff lah. Yeah, but you understand the main thing can already lah. Eden, got any question?
Yeah, I can understand this one. Understandable.
Okay. Good. Yeah. I think that's about it I want to cover for create table. Just need to know some key points lah. You need to create the tables with the primary keys first lah. Like the tables without any foreign key, because you need to create the locals first before you can create the foreigner. That's the first thing. Then after that, camel case, lower case, whatever for the keyword, it don't matter. The machine can still understand that. It's just that human don't understand what is going on. So all these things, right, programming is easy lah. It's easy to make very lousy code lah. Like the machine don't care lah. But if you want to become a proper programmer, right, even not just a programmer lah, even like your composition, all this lah, it doesn't make sense for you to have broken grammar, broken uppercase, all these things lah. It's damn stupid lah. Yeah. So after you create a table, right, then you insert some data. I just insert. I don't think need to cover lah. Insert is just insert into table the values. So you need a keyword values. Then after that, whatever value, whatever rows lah, whatever instances of data you want lah, you just need to take note. You need to follow the format of the columns that you define. Like for example, student, right? When you create a table, student ID and student name, you cannot halfway through you insert, you can put student name as the first thing. Then the computer will quite like you. Then they ask you what's going on lah. Student ID, you say it's an integer, not now. Then you put in a character. It doesn't make sense for the computer lah. So just need to follow the order lah. This kind of thing quite basic lah. I don't think need to cover. But you all need to cover. Don't need Okay, maybe just one point lah. When you insert, right, normally you don't insert all one by one. Like you insert in what is called a batch transaction. Like you define everything at once, you just buy everything at once. But for purpose of MySQL, right, of course you can customize the ability lah. But for MySQL is something called a batch transaction. So anything one of them fail, right? Like somehow student ID, you put student name, right? And like data 20, the whole thing don't insert together. They throw you an error. This is for scalability purposes lah. Like next time it's because MySQL is handled is designed to handle like a few million rows. You can definitely change the configuration. There's batch transaction, then there's like partial transaction also lah. Like they will just insert the error, then the error, then they do insert lah. But that one very hard to do. What is called a rollback operation. Rollback means you restore it back to the previous version that before you insert lah. But all this kind of thing, it's just for further understanding lah. This kind of thing you need just search lah. Okay, then after that you create a database already, you create the table, you insert, you define the primary key, the foreign key, the constraint, the data type, you insert the data. The next step you need to do is there's 4 basic operations. In programming, you call this CRUD, C-R-U-D, create, read, update, delete. So we did create already lah. Create just means create the values lah. So programming, right, in the start, right, there's something called seed data. Seed data means you create an initial mock data that is needed to create what is called the MVP of your product, minimum viable product. So yeah, when you create something, right, the first thing you need to do is to test. That you need the bare minimum of data first to test first. You don't go and insert everything at once. Like it's basically like Excel. You make a new workbook like from your financial model. You want to copy to another one. You don't go and copy the whole thing at once. Like you copy the whole thing at once, you don't know how to find what's the error. It's quite stupid if you do that. Then okay, so the most complicated one will be read. So I just gotta read that another part. Delete quite simple. Delete is just delete from where? Delete from table. Then just delete. Yeah, just put what you want to delete, then that's semicolon. Update also about the same. Update and delete also is the same words just change I forgot what the Japanese word but you just you can Google update, delete, update or mutate or change it's the same thing. I think update change will be easy to understand. So update, right? Normally, okay, this is the key SQL keyword that the machine needs to know to understand that this is the update operation. Update what? Update the table name. Maybe update faculty table name. And another keyword. What do you want to update? You use the word set. Set what? F name, faculty name. Use the column. Then in the column, what exactly do you want to set? Boolean. And you can add more You can add more what is called more keywords Maybe I introduce one first where. Okay, wait, I found out. Uppercase. Yeah, where whatever you want FID equal 4756. So what this means, right? At the faculty table, you update where the foreign ID, where the faculty ID, where this primary key is 4756. So you only update this one specific row or one specific instance of data. And within that specific instance of data, it updates that one column. And one column is foreign name, where this data, the faculty name is called Boolean. This is how you read the thing So far okay, right? You don't get? Okay?
Yeah, can.
Yeah.
Hey, just one question. The table name, right, when you create also should avoid spacing, right, or put the underscore
This one
in
is
general.
okay. Spacing is a bit complicated. I kind of forgot off the top of my head. I forget because different programming language also Java, TypeScript, Python, all these they got their own different convention. But to answer your question, I think generally in programming, right, you try to avoid spacing. What you try to do is you try to follow. The first thing you do, right, is go and Google MySQL naming conventions Like there's this documentation in MySQL. Basically, for me, right, how I try to do, right, after learning some more languages is I try to standardize underscore and first word, right, before the underscore, I put as lowercase. Then after that, uppercase. I forget what's the name for that. Sneak case underscore. Yeah, this kind of thing, right? if you are a solo coder, then up to you lah. You want to jump you understand can really lah. But if you work as a team, right, then you need to understand lah. You need to align and coordinate which is the naming convention you all want. But to answer your question, I think right off the top of my head, if you put space, you will have a problem. But don't quote me on that lah. You go and figure it out. You go and try yourself lah. Right?
Okay.
Okay, then I just want to touch a bit more about update. Just now the update is update the instance, right? The instance and the specific like values in that one instance. You can also update the constraints lah. Actually, you also can delete the constraints lah. So there's different types of things lah. Maybe like I thought about add a new constraint. So if you want to do that, right, it's not insert lah, it's not edit lah, it's a different keyword lah. Alter. Alter is the same thing as change lah. It's just I don't know what the difference between update and alter lah, but it's you just need to know if you want to update the constraint, right, you need to use the word alter table. So alter table already. Okay. Alter table name again. So for example, I want to add constraint. CONSTR. Okay, yeah, correct. Add constraint. Then you put the name of the constraint again. Constraint name. Then after that, what exactly you want to put for the constraint? You want primary key, foreign key, that one from the previous part. I leave it up to you. Okay, done already. Don't forget the semicolon. If not, they will quite like you. Then you want to drop column name. You want to drop the constraint. Just change it up. Change it to drop. But it's a bit different because when you add, right, here, right, from this one sentence, this row first, right, is the computer still doesn't know what constraint you want to add. That's why after that you talk about this and this. But if you want to drop, it's an existing constraint, so it's a bit different. So you drop, right, you straight away need to say what is the constraint called. What is the type of constraint? So for example, drop foreign. No, understand. Because this is the keyword, it's not your naming. So this has to be space, drop foreign key. Then whatever name is the foreign key, foreign constraint. So because you're dropping, right, you just need to tell the computer, hey, I want to drop this foreign key, and yeah, I want to drop this constraint, and this constraint is a foreign key. Then after that, you just put the name, like the computer already knows because the constraint is already created. What's the data type, what's the exact things, like it knows already, you will just drop the thing. And then don't forget the semicolon. Yeah, that's about it for create, update, and delete. Actually got more like the nitty-gritty stuff, how to drop an existing column. All this quite basic. I think you understand the thing, I'm sure you're going to figure it out. Okay, right? Yeah. Okay, then this one the most complex one. The most complex one is read. Read is the hardest I feel, you're the most complicated because like they got a lot of keywords I write down those basically. Select. Then remember what I said after you select. Okay, fuck. Select. First thing you put select. Select what columns you want. So columns. This one not uppercase This one should be uppercase but this is the keyword. Underline I put as keyword This one is whatever you want to put You your own From where? After that is from where this from where, right? It did not just be the table. If you are selecting from multiple databases, right? The first thing you have to do is to write a database. So for example, I have two databases, right? BDM and YOLO. Data. database 1, YOLO, database 2, BDM. You want to select data from these two databases, right? So you need to put, like for example, YOLO database dot column, which one you want. You want to put everything, you can use this thing called star. And then you will select every single column from the database you know. But maybe this one you want to put YID, YOLO ID, YOLO or whatever. Now for example, whatever you want to put, you have to put there. After that, these two quite basic. Don't explain so much. I just put here first the keywords, but later I'll explain. Join, where, then group by, then final having, then last one, for the purposes of this mode, order by. Then after you stop, semicolon. What can, right? Yeah? You don't get?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Select quite easy lah. Select you just select. I don't know how to dummy. Sorry. Column. I want to talk a bit about column. Column is a bit hard. So when you select, right? Sometimes you see Excel, right? They got a lot of Excel formula. They got extract. They got sum if all this, right? Like when you select the column, you don't just select the column name most of the time, So when you select the column name, right, you might perform operations on the column first before you select. For the purposes of BDM, right, there's two types of functions you can perform on the column. The first one is called aggregator. Too hard. Aggregator. So aggregator means what's the Japanese word? Shuke, I think. Aggregator just means add, you add everything. Or you do something, you calculate something. So aggregator functions. This is the first one. This is the first thing you can do to the column part. Got mean, max, average, sum, count, star. So count every single thing. You want some column. So this bracket, right, you put whatever column you want. But if you want everything, you can put this thing called star. And there's also count, distinct column. Yeah, this is the first type of function, aggregator function. After that, for the purposes of BDM, right, there's another type, scalar function. The scalar, right, I don't know if you all took H2 math or advanced math during like junior college. Scalar function, right, to answer the question, scalar, right, just means number. So this number, right, it does not have magnitude. Magnitude just means positive or negative. Like, if you have positive and negative, right, this thing is called a vector. But for the purposes of scalar, right, you won't have the sign, it's just you get a number. So this one can be extract the date. Like for example, you want to extract the day from 2019 to 09 to 02. You put this into select, and you will only select those with a day of 2. It is a scalar function. Off the top of my mind, I don't know if there's a vector function, but I have there's 1,001 million functions. This kind of thing, I don't intend to cover everything under the sun. So aggregator function, scalar function, just need to take note there's some difference. Like this one just extract the number. Aggregator, they will do something to the number. So these two are different. These two, they mostly come under column when you select it most of the time. What can, right? Can? Peter? Yeah. Yeah?
Wildcards.
Yeah. Give me a while. Don't fucking Wait, you wait first, damn long, bro. Wildcard is like where, bro? I still have
Oh, it's where not at the select. Okay.
You give me a while, Wait, I will cover everything. You don't scare, I don't cover. You want me cover more, I can cover more. I can cover recursion, I can cover whatever one.
Oh, okay. I thought the
You want to
wildcard
ask
was
Okay.
Oh yeah. Is that where? Yeah. Sorry.
So far here, column. We done select, we done column. I mean, from very obvious lah. Like I say lah, you can put this lah. Okay. Maybe I touch a bit about something called aliasing lah. Aliasing is something called you can put a short form lah, because like you put so much, right? It's a bit weird lah. Like for remember you're writing for a human lah, so it's a bit weird lah. Like if you go and put everything all at once. So maybe I touch a bit about. So I just got to touch a bit here so far lah. Don't so hokey, don't so kanchiong lah. Select s dot sid s name cid from student s registration r, where s dot sid equal r dot sid and semester equals to I 2001. This one you don't understand yet. Don't care lah. Later I will explain. But I just want to point out aliasing lah. Aliasing is giving a nickname or a short form. So you can see, right, the nickname, right, actually defined here, right, student S, registration R, right? And one big confusion maybe you have, right, is why you define here, then you can reference the thing here. It's a bit weird also, right? But right, so in programming okay lah, this one confirm a bit different lah. This one I dumb it down for the example lah, but it's easy to understand lah. But in programming, right, when the machine runs code, right, there's two different things. There's compile, then there's runtime. So compile means you combine everything together first. For example, you want to write a letter. You write a letter, right, compile before you actually runtime is when you actually do the thing, which is actually you go and email the letter out. So compile means, for example, you go and do the grammar check, you go and put the Grammarly, and compile, right? You compile already, then you read through already, so you check there's no error, and you also get the context. So in this context SQL, right, what the machine will probably do, right, is they will compile. They will look through the full thing first. That's why, right, even before you run the code, right, you sometimes have a problem, right? They will give you an error when you run. It's because the machine will compile before you execute the query. So for this case, right, because you look through the full thing, it knows, oh, you already defined S here. That's why you can put at the front. Because the machine understands that the machine is smart, even though it gives you a lot of error. Most of the time, the machine gives you error is because you suck. It's because the human sucks. Yeah. So that's just a bit about aliasing lah. But need to take note lah. If you cannot alias the database lah. For example, you select blah 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 from, you select like YOLO.YID, the database you cannot alias lah, because the database is damn big lah. You alias the thing, the computer don't understand lah. It's just the limit of the computer. It's just the limit of the computer lah. You don't ask me why you cannot compile. Yeah. Then I go Hit again.
Yeah, okay.
Select column from where? Yeah, done. Aliasing also done. Should I put join first? Join a bit. Oh yeah, maybe I don't talk about join yet. Join I put to the end. So where? The next. Okay, let's just assume this one. This one not here first. Where, right? Where is something called a filter condition. Like for example, you select human select human name from human, where the human name equals to hidden. So where is filter condition. So this kind of thing, right? Like the keyword is in a proper order, but you don't memorize, like you just try to understand. It's quite obvious why it's ordered this way. Like you select everything already, you aggregate everything already, right? Then you got the raw data already. After that, what you want to do, the first thing you want to do with this data is you want to filter it. That's why the where is right after the join and the select. Yeah. Then where the filter types, right? There's a lot of filter types. There's something called comparison operator also lah. This one math lah, inequality. You want to filter by this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. Not equal to, not more than or equals to, less than or equals to, less than, more than, equal. Not equal to lah. But MySQL is stupid lah. They don't want to use this lah. They got this lah. Some stupid thing lah. I don't know what is it lah. Like it's damn dumb. No, wrong one. They got this. This is very stupid lah. I don't know why they have this lah, but maybe some I don't know dementia person one lah. But normally I use this lah. If I see this, I will rage at the person who put the code lah, because like he's not writing for a human lah. He's writing for the tool lah. So this state is called comparison operator. So this is number one. Then there's also like Boolean clauses lah. Boolean means true or false lah. So okay lah, this one the name I just came out of the spot lah. You Google probably wrong lah. Boolean operator. So there's different types lah. There's and, there's or, there's in, there's not in. Then there's also is now, not now. It's like English lah. Like you just understand got this kind of thing like you need where you use lah. Okay, but I just need to say something, right? And or, right? There's a like the how do I do this? Like when you want to do different filter conditions at once, right? Within a where clause, right? For example, like student equal, okay, no. Where student name equal hidden and student.id equals, no, maybe not and, maybe or. This just to highlight the error. Most people will bring up. You cannot do this lah. You cannot do this. This is wrong lah. It's wrong because, right, this is condition 1. After condition 2, this thing will always be true. Like it's just like, okay, you take out this part, what the computer will see, right, is just select columns from table where just the thing it doesn't make sense lah. So what you have to do here, right, you have to put student name s.name equals to just. If not, the computer don't know. You do this, right, you won't get the proper result lah, because this thing is a string. In programming, right, if you just put this, it will always be a true value lah. Like it's not a filter condition. There's nothing getting filtered. It's just a true condition. This thing will always be true lah. If you take out this part, it's only when you put in the s.name equal, then the thing may or may not be false when you filter lah. Yeah, that's the main part lah. You just need to take note lah. Each condition within the Boolean operator, like this or this is called a condition. This is another condition. Each condition, you need to treat it seriously lah. You don't just go and assume the machine will understand this, then you will infer the context from here lah. Yeah lah, the machine won't lah. I say that first lah. Then is now and not is not now, right? It's not a bit complicated lah, but in short, right? If you want to check if now just means there's no value, right? Just use the function. Don't get put, for example, where s.name equal to null. This one I'm not going to cover, but this one a bit too advanced. You want it in the notes. Basically, just go and do it properly. Just go and put s.name is not null. Yeah, just go and use this shit. Just do it. Okay, but that's for where. So far, okay, right? Then?
Yeah.
You don't get it? Yeah. Okay. So where is filter condition number one? Now we have group by. Group by is different from filter lah. Group by is just group lah. So you select everything already, right? For example, here, right, you have 5 rows or 5 instances of data. You filter already, right? From the first clause. The first clause is where. Now you got 3 rows. Then you have to group the 3 rows. So that's what group by uses. That's what group by does lah. So the thing you need to take note, right, is here for a reason now. You need to select everything first. You need to filter once first before you can group by lah. You don't go and put group by before where, or go and put group by before select lah. It's damn stupid lah. It doesn't make sense lah. The machine don't know, so don't know what it's doing lah. That's damn dumb. Okay, so give you one example lah. Select, extract year from where? From date qualified. Date qualified is just the data, the table name now. From date qualified as year. Okay, this one is a brand new thing. This one is an alias. Like, this is the column that you select. Or to be exact, this year is the column you select from date qualified table. You apply a scalar function called extract to it. Then this full result will return you a column, which is an attribute. Then you name this column as year. That's why as year. This is something called aliasing, giving a nickname. And then move on to the second one. Count star, like I said, that is an aggregator function. This just counts the number of rows. After that, select columns from where? From qualification table for this example. After that, you want to group, right? Then you can group by year. So when you want to use group by, right, the select columns, right, except for the aggregator function. So this is the scalar function. This is the aggregator function. If you want to group by, right, most of the time, right, or rather mass, the non-aggregator columns need to appear in group by. If not the group, they don't know how to group. Yeah, this is a bit hard to explain also, the logic. Yeah, just need to know non-aggregator select columns or non-aggregator select attributes. When you want to do a group by, they have to appear So up there is the scalar Year is the scalar. That's why you want to group by, you need to group by the year Yeah. Then okay, this one what you return for example, you return 2 columns because you select only 2 columns so far year, count ID. You return this 1999. There was two rows from qualification where the year is 1999 2003. Yeah. Yeah. You know okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. But if you don't do group by, right, then it's a bit different. There will be a lot of rows. Like there will be 5 rows of data instead. Yeah. Okay, that's the first thing. So you group by already, right? You move on to having. Having is the same as where actually, but the difference, right, is this is filter condition number 2. So why there's different steps to the condition, filter condition lah. The first things first is readability lah. If you got a lot of table, you don't put everything into the where lah. After that, it's very hard to pull up. At least you put having, right? You will know, oh, this is what I want to filter after I group the things. It's easier for you to maintain the code lah. You don't get blah one whole thing, everything before the group by. Then the group by also one whole chunk. You also don't know what is happening. Next time you change the code. So having is just it's the same thing lah. It's just another filter condition lah. Okay, Kinder, you just stop no worries. I just gonna record. Yeah, but thanks for coming lah. Yeah, you want to just stop. I will just continue. Okay, yeah, after that, having by after must be harder after group by lah. Okay, it's the same thing lah. Filter condition, the things you apply lah. The last one is order by lah. So you got all these already. You select already. You filter once, you group by once, then you filter another time. The last one is order by. Order by got different lah. Got two types lah. ASC and DESC. Ascending, 小さいと高いです。descending, 高いと小さいです。up, down. Ascending, descending order. Then, okay, for now, that's about it lah for why the keyword order is as such lah. Right? Okay. Then I talk a bit more about operators lah. Different things you can use. That's what Keelan say, right? Wildcard. So this wildcard can be used in quite a lot of places. Like it can be used in filter condition. So filter condition, where, having, and there's also group by. You can put it here also lah. Depending on what you want to do with it lah. But wildcard, you cannot put there lah because it doesn't really make sense lah. Yeah, wildcard there's two types lah. Percentage and underscore. This percentage wildcard just means it's wild lah. You don't know what's going on also lah. Normally you pair wildcard with this keyword called like, so it looks like the thing. So percentage represents right 0 or more characters. What's the character? Actor. Then this one represents only one character. So for example, percentage desk. This one 0 or more characters before the word desk. Can be a lot of desks lah. High desk or computer desk, home desk. When you filter, right? Yeah, percentage desk will give all this. Wildcard desk, a desk. If you put A, B desk, then it's wrong lah. You should be using this instead lah. Or if not, you put 2 lah, double desk lah. If you want to filter it lah. Yeah. Okay, then give you a bit more example. For wildcard. Wildcard a bit tricky lah, I guess. Actually, if the people if next time the people see right, more advanced in programming, right, there's something called regex lah. Regex expressions. Wildcard is the basic one for regex expression. Regex just means regular expression. There's a lot of different types lah. So select stuff from employees. You want, you can put an alias also lah, just to care, but it's not really needed here lah. Where name like J percentage. Okay, then Jessica. Jess. What do you think this should return? What kinds of names should return?
Names that begin with J but can have any number of characters after J.
Yeah, like what? Yes, I was looking for it. Yes. So Jess will be returned if you put this. Next one, Okay, so the percentage can put anywhere lah. You can put J percentage here, you can put percentage J also. Yeah, the same thing. It just depends on what you want to do. So percentage, J percentage, right? Jess also can. Because this is more than or equals to 0 character. So it can be 0, so there can be nothing at the front also, it doesn't really matter. For SQL, for structured query language. So now it's this. So Singapore, right? Most of the numbers you see is 8 numbers. You can put select star from customers where phone number like. So normally, if it's personal Singapore telephone number, right, it starts with 8 like 8 something like. So you want to put maybe like 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 numbers Then this will return you 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 or whatever a valid Singapore number Canadian, all those the number of lengths is different but this will return you exactly 8 digits. And all these rows right will start with the 8 Then at least you can guarantee it's not a scam number. Okay, then last one maybe I combine both Select start from users, where username like a. Yeah, let me try.
Oh, what 2 percentages?
You can pull up, you want to pull up anything.
Yeah, so it starts with A, and then there's one character after, and then but why? I don't understand why 2%.
I mean, you want to put one also. It doesn't really matter.
It means
Because more than equals 0, more than equals 0.
so it means the same thing.
It means the same thing.
And also, why put underscore? Because
what's the difference?
Means it's gonna be at least one.
There's a difference.
I see.
If you don't put this, it will be A.
And it could be A.
It could
nothing.
be A. But this, if you put this, it must be at least A, B, then blah 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 blah. That's the difference. That's how you combine it. Okay. That's wildcards. Wildcard already, aggregator, scalar function, blah 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 blah. Okay, there's a bit more functions. BDM they got a lot. I don't know why they put so much. It's damn stupid also. But there's one more. There's 2 more before I talk about join union and union. Union just means combine. This one quite basic also when you see the statement, when you see the structured query language, you'll kind of get it select what column as name from what table where f name. You want to put f name or name also can. It doesn't really make sense. You define the thing, you just use name. But okay, sure, f name like percentage a percentage union. So union is a keyword. I like to put it as uppercase. Union select as name from student where s name like percentage a percentage. So this whole thing is one query, one structured, one SQL, one structured query language. And this one, quite obvious union So here maybe you get an R, and here you get 10 If union really, if within one, right, you get 2 rows together, 2 rows of data together, you get, and now you get 10 Yeah, that's about it. Union isn't really a thing. A bit out of scope for BDM but there's union and union all depends on when you want to use it, but basically the difference is right. Union has the ability to remove duplicate. There will not be any duplicate row if you use union. But then this comes at a cost If you take programming, you will learn something about big O complexity, time complexity, space complexity. Basically, to remove a duplicate, you need to go through O n time basically. Unless you use the hashtag O1 time complexity. But a bit out of scope. Basically, because you want in union, right, you will remove the duplicate, and this results in lower performance. On the other hand, you do union or duplicate may be there. And on the other hand, this results in fast performance. This one depends on the use case. If you're constrained, you put no duplicate or whatever, then you use union all. Then you can confidently use union all. Okay, but that's all for union all. Then the next one is if now. If now is quite simple. Like this one I write out quite obvious. Select now as name unknown name from user. So if the student name it gets null, so it may appear null because later you join. Depending on the join, the thing will become null. So if it's null, instead of the data returning you null, you just put unknown name. These are quite obvious. For other places, there's a lot of different type of functions for these. Don't use if now, can use coalesce. Then in programming, you can use ternary operator, JavaScript or knowledge correlating assignment, whatever. It's all the same thing. Just choose one. This kind of thing, you know what you want to do, you just Google what exactly you want to use. You can't another method. So, okay, that's about it. Then the last one is join. So far, okay, right? Okay, right? Yeah. Join. Okay, join. That's what I say. Join. The literal join is very obvious. So join is here. I remove the cross now. Now I got talk about join. So you select the data already, right? But as mentioned earlier, you select all these, right? It may not be the full data. You want to join with other tables also, so that the number of columns gets longer, even though the number of rows is the same. So the join, right, will be different from union. Union, right, the number of rows you return increases if you union. If you join, right, the number of rows or the number of instances of data is the same. But the thing is, right, the number of attributes or the number of columns will increase. That's the difference between union and join. And join, right, there's different types of joins. I don't know why Prof want to cover so much, that's stupid also. Okay, first one. Okay, there's this thing. To understand join properly, there's this thing called Venn diagram. So for the purposes of PDM, right, the Venn diagram, each circle is one table. Table 1, table 2. There's different types of join. If you want to join, get everything only from table 1, right? What you do is you do a left join. So left join will give you this entire thing. If you want to get everything from table 2, right? You do something called a right join. Then if you want to just get this part, this thing is called inner join. Or because Prof, for some reason, want to use others, there's different types of achiever. There's different types of ways to achieve an inner join. There's a natural join, and there's also implicit join. All this is the same, it's a different method, but you return the same thing. This kind of thing, this one you need to do, then you go and learn. You just need to know one of them, the thing will work. You want to return this whole thing is what we call a full outer join. Okay, inner join I will show a bit more because, or rather to get the middle part, the intersection or the common overlap, right? I show a bit more because I want to cover. I don't know why you want to cover. First one, right? She cover implicit or natural join. Implicit / natural join. This one, select star from where? From customer, table, alias as C, orders table, alias as O, where C.id equal O.id. So like I say, right, to join at the start of the lecture, to join you need to have common things in common first lah. In this case, for the purpose of SQL, is the attributes or the rows, right, and or the columns must be in common before you can join the tables lah. This one is what we call implicit or equal join. It works lah, but the problem is I don't like it lah. Why? Because the documentation, this is standardized, right? Every programmer knows this this order of keywords. You go and put the where in the filter, then the join you don't use. Then next time the join, the where, the thing, if you learn about subqueries, you have a lot of table, a lot of relational tables, right? I think damn long. You everything put the where, then the join you don't use. It's damn stupid lah. It works lah, but I hate this lah. I hate this so much lah. Then the next one is the most stupid one. Natural join. Select star from employees table, alias as E. Natural join departments. This one is the most stupid one. Like first of all, you don't even write like, what's the common columns or column attributes in common. So next time, for example, E got EID inside okay, there's employee name also lah. Department okay, employee table, departments table, got EID, got department ID, got department name. You put this right, next time some idiot programmer you change this to you change EID, you go and change the name of EID. Change to E. Then gone lah. You put natural join. Then the thing so long already. Next time got join, got filter, group, having order by. Then the clown will use natural join, you change, then he fuck up, then die lah. You don't know how to fix lah. I think so long already. I mean you can fix lah. You can, if you are a good programmer, you can trace the error stack now or the error code lah. You will eventually be able to find it lah. But why would you do that lah? So the last one, right? Okay, maybe just to recap. What we're doing now is to get this thing. The best way I recommend to do, right, is something we call inner join. Select star from employees, inner join. So inner join to get this thing, you specify the word inner join. Inner join means you will get the overlap part. Inner join the departments table, you alias a department, you alias a D. Then when you join, you need a keyword, it's called on. On where, on which columns, or which attributes, on E dot department ID equals D dot ID. This is the best lah, I feel, because you use the keyword join, you use the word on. Then next time you read, it's easier to follow lah. You don't go and put a where, or you worst one, you use natural join. You miss out on this lah. It's not good lah. Yeah, you're gonna create a lot of problems for everyone lah if you use natural join. Okay, then inner join, outer join is quite obvious lah. You want left join, you use the word left join no. Left join on something, on what columns. Right join on outer join on. Then last one, inner join on. Yeah, about there really lah. I just want to say like you join already, right? Just to re-emphasize, you can put the filters lah. For example, you full outer join, you get the full thing. Then you stupid lah. I don't know why you do that, but you put where. Somehow the filter you filter until here lah. It works lah, but you could have just done an inner join lah. Yeah, you can do whatever you want lah. But this is the basic thing. And okay lah, I think that's about it.
Break time.
Yeah, break time lah. I think that's about it. Yeah, the rest is I think you all can cover yourself lah. These are the crash course. Yeah, I never going to look at the lecture, the exercise things as well. I will be too basic. Don't use this. Still there? I think that's all lah. You got any more questions? You can ask me lah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, help me do the survey because I need to. By today, I need to email SME incubator. I need to apply to Protect Venture. Need to apply to Stash Away. Yeah. Basically, I need the data lah. Yeah. Okay, come see.
Just send me.
Yeah, it's at the Zoom chat.
Oh, it's Zoom chat.
Hey, oh no, my bad. Okay, I send you later lah.
Okay. Yeah. Hey, thanks, man. Hey, Yusuf. Really, Yusuf. Yeah.
Really? Yeah. Okay.
Good,
I tell you already, I'm
refresh.
fucking
Good.
boosted, bro. I tell you already, yeah. Okay. Yeah, but bye lah. Good luck for whatever you doing.
Okay. Are you actually doing VQL? It's like similar lah, SQL.
Big questions.
No, V.
What is VQ?
Is a Donodo. Is another software. Yeah.
Or SQL or something. Programming.
It's similar to SQL, but basically because the software like helps you to like it pulls the live data, but it doesn't like load it and store it. So it's like data virtualization.
Data virtualization.
Mm.
Oh.
Yeah, then yeah, but it is using something like SQL also lah.
Yeah,
I think overall it's still useful lah.
You learn enough language, right? This kind of thing, the basic grammar, this thing, you understand, you can Google it, like, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, bye bro.
Hey, bye. Thanks. Useful. Bye.